Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Welcome back, world, to the one, the only mystifying Oracle Radio. It is the Shadow Nation. Demon Hunter.
I am a cute and cuddly little snow angel.
You are. Well, before they fire us, we better thank all our homes, all our sponsors, Stitcher Smart Radio, Spreaker, the world's listening. How about you? Spreaker.com, Planet Paranormal, Geeky Antics Network, Serious Geek, Silly Fun. And, of course, our friends at Attentive Home Healthcare, AttentiveHC.com, and the SWL Project. Give, share, everybody needs. Nathan.
A little love.
The SWLproject.org. Check them out, and welcome back, Shadowtonians, to the Shadow Zone. The Shadow Nation. I like the Shadow Zone. You're in the...
We've already changed the name to Shadow Nation. You can't change it to Shadow Zone now.
You're in the Shadow Zone. Here at the Shadow Nation.
With the Ghost Man and Demon Hunter.
We picked, guys, it is the Shadow Nation with your Ghost Man and Demon Hunter show. We can't shake that. We've had that for a billion years. So we can't get rid of the Ghost Man and Demon Hunter show because that's our names. We're the Ghost Man and Demon Hunter. But
do you remember when we first started, everybody said, Ghost Man and Demon Hunter, that name's too long. You guys got to shorten that. And we were like, no, that's us. That's who we are. We're doing the show. Yeah, and like 10 years later, we're talking to each other going, our name's really long. We got to find another.
Yeah. Well, we started having all these stars on that come on, and they're usually time restraint. And we're talking to them about doing bumpers, and they're like, "It's the what show?" And then it finally forced our hand in.
6 takes to get one recording. Yeah,
the Ghost Demon Man Power Hour. But
the number one we always get on the first shot is you're listening to the Ghost Hunter and Demon Man show.
we should have had a whole thing of just over our last 10 years, all the recordings of all these superstars we've had on the show that have messed up, botched our intro.
Did we save all the ones that Mike Rooker did?
I think we did. I think we do have Mike's stuff. I think
that was like 6 or 7 tries.
And then we had oh man.
Mark and Mark, remember? We actually played all their mistakes.
Yeah, but I took out the one we did with Dan, but you kind of remember. Well, here, just listen. Remember Dan? Here we go. We'll play that one right here real quick.
No, that wasn't good. Okay, here we go. Yeah. This is Dan Bogler, and you're listening to the Ghost Man and Demon Hunter show.
Remember, Dan was on there for like 20 minutes trying to
get it.
Yeah, it was terrible. But Dan, he's good people, man. That was good.
The fact that he stuck around and kept doing it until he got it right was awesome.
Well, we did that like in the middle of the day. I mean, it's a beautiful Sunday right now, but then I think we both had to go to work. We had to pre-record because he was filming somewhere.
Right. We had to get his recording early.
He was like, "What do you want me to say? I can do it." But he didn't just do it. He did it with style.
Yeah.
So, anyway, guys, what's going on around the world? Not much here. We did get snow this week.
We did.
Yeah, it started snowing here. It didn't really stick. I mean, it's all gone this morning, but it's calling 14, 15 inches here in the Midwest next week. So it's official. Old Man Winter has arrived.
Technically, he's coming early.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
This is true.
We're supposed to have till the 21st.
Yeah, the 21st. So you're taking days from a Santa Claus or Old Man Winter. Yeah, Old Man.
I'm actually thinking of going out this year and buying myself a cheap Santa suit, putting it on, and riding my motorcycle around the neighborhood to freak out the kids.
You should do it.
Just driving by and slowing down by their house, just doing one of those like 2 fingers to the eye mask going, watching you.
Please don't wreck while you're doing that and destroy children's lives forever. Anyway, Nathan, before...
I did a horrible motorcycle accident outside my house.
Ho, ho, shit! Tree! Ho, 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 shit! Skid marks. You like that?
That'll be bleeped out for the networks.
Yeah, we'll bleep that out. Here, hold on, Nathan, because before we forget, tonight's guest. Uh-oh. You hear that tune, guys. Tonight's guest, he's an English actor best known for his role in the television drama Waterloo Road, and now for his most recent role as Jesus on the AMC smash hit The Walking Dead, and of course much, much more that we'll get into later on this evening. Shadow Nation, tonight in studio, the Jesus himself, Mr. Tom Payne, Nathan. Woohoo!
I feel the pain.
I feel
Tom Payne.
I feel Tom's pain. I feel he's Tom. I feel he's Tom.
You feel his Tom?
I feel his pain. No, but, we're going to get into it. He's dating smoking hot musician chick from the UK, and the guy's life is perfect in every way, it appears, and I'm going to start crying now. So anyway, if we have any Kleenex in studio, no, Tom's
You just
great.
ruined it for all those young Tom Payne female fans going, he's got a girlfriend? No.
Anyway, guys, Tom Payne, Walking Dead returns right here at the Shadow Nation, America's place for strange.
Ooh, I like that.
I like it. I did that too. Yeah.
How many catchphrases have we had over the years?
I don't know, but you know how the guys say, I need to get me some strange. Like booty, right? But I'm talking about strange. We have strange movies, strange topics. America's place for strange.
Strange sex stories that all include Sean.
Yes, I would prefer it be that way, but I don't think any of them include Sean or the Ghost Man or... Ladies, get in Twitter and let us know your deepest, darkest desires about the show.
No, don't do that. We had that issue when the TV show was coming on, and both of us almost lost our wives.
Yeah, it almost killed us. Hey, you're not supposed to say that. Remember when, and that's funny, of course, everybody listens to us knows we're old and married now, but I'm not really old. I'm in my early 40s. Nathan's like late 60s, but...
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Well, that's what you always say. You always say I'm a big, chubby, fat ass, so I want the world to think you're 100.
I am only in my mid to late 40s, I'll have you know. It's just all the gray hair makes me look like I'm in my 60s. It's distinguished.
Radio hosting life's hard on us, people. No, but...
10 years of working with Sean made me go gray.
But that's one thing we both have, all our hair.
Yeah?
I even have more on my chin now.
I think I'm the only guy left in my family who still has all his hair.
Really?
So, yeah.
I got a full head of hair. I hope I go to my grave with it.
That'll be soon.
Go to my burning date. Are you getting?
Do you remember the old Morton Salt? No, you wouldn't remember it. The old Morton Salt commercial that used to have like a slogan under it. It had the old guy and the fisherman in the fisherman suit, and it had a little slogan under it that said, "As nights grow long and days grow dim, your head grows bald, but not your chin."
I don't. I remember
it was just a weird little slogan that they used to have under their stuff.
I just remember, "Ask the Gordons, fisherman." Jesus, you took it to a dark place, man. What those extra 5 years of your life, or 4 or 3 that you lived more than me, must have been a very dark time, almost medieval. Before I was born in 1975.
Well, you got to remember, back in those dark ages, we didn't have a lot of entertainment. We had 3 channels on the TV, and
we had to talk.
They were all fuzzy. So you found other ways to entertain yourself, like reading through old Sears and Roebuck's catalogs and stuff.
I love how you do that sometimes. You wouldn't remember this. You're like 3 years older than me. Jeez.
Well, that's what I tell people. I'm actually immortal.
Been here a very long time, folks.
Yes.
No, the talking about that back then, it's like medieval times in the 60s and 70s. I was at work just the other day, and I was talking to a guy that was just a regular guy. You don't think about it. You're talking about stuff, and I'm like, yeah, Sammy Terry. Of course, Bob Carter passed away a couple years ago. One of the big interviews Nathan and I did right before we lost Bob.
We passed.
Yeah, Sammy Terry. That was amazing. I'm so glad we have that in archives. You live forever, Bob. Sammy Terry, he was our late night horror host. And I started talking about all these things, and the kid's like, no, don't ring a bell. I said, well, Saturday morning cartoons, man. And we had all the ABC Weekend Special. Really? No, doesn't ring a bell. And I'm like, okay, this guy's either mentally unstable or he's from a different state. Or, where they didn't have, but still everybody had weekend specials. I mean, if you were in the late 70s, early 80s, and he said, no, I was born in 96. 1 year after I graduated. He goes, I remember the Cartoon Network. I said, network? What the hell's a network? We only had 4 channels. We didn't even have a network, I don't think. We just had shows on different channels.
It was Saturday morning, and it was funny because my father used to like to point out the fact that I could not wake up in the mornings when it was a school day. But on Saturday mornings, I was awake at I had to wake up at 5:30 in the morning anyway to milk the goats. But But, I had no problem getting up on Saturday morning and watching my cartoon.
Hey, you're not helping this we're not old argument, okay, by milking goats and shit, all right? Let's remind everybody, Nathan did not live in the suburbs, folks. He was a country boy, which to this day, I'm sure there's somebody out there milking goats, okay?
Of course there are.
So don't take this to Little House on the Prairie type thing.
It takes a lot of talent to milk a goat. You just can't sit down for the first time and make it happen.
That's true. You got to speak softly to it. I don't know. Warm up your hands.
Hey, baby.
I don't know. You got to start at the top on the teat, right? And then you got to work your way down.
And hold really tight and work your way down. Force the milk out.
Right. That's how my first date. That's how my first date went. You start top and you got to work your way down. Anyway, whatever. Sorry, ladies. Sorry, I'm crude. Okay, I was born in medieval times, 75. I don't know any better. I still wipe with a rag on a stick. I seen that the other day.
You had a rag?
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good. What show was that? When the guy, everything he said, the other guy goes, "You had that? You had this?" And he's like, "Jesus Christ, man! Okay, we get it. You've done more than me." I forget what that was. No, I was watching Game of Thrones. Love it.
I'm amazed that you got into that, Sean. I tried. I really tried. Yeah. And everybody keeps telling me, I tell them, I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes. I couldn't get into it. And they're like, oh, it really starts getting good at episode 5. Why is it every show always gets good like one episode after I stop watching it? That's what I'll say. Yeah, I started watching such and such a show. I started watching Exorcist, and I watched the first 2 episodes, and
really got good in third.
And they're like, oh, it got good at episode 3. And I'm like, come on.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible you left off in episode 60 because it just started turning at 61. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
If you can't get me in the first 3 episodes, it ain't going to happen. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you, Game of Thrones to me, I said, you know what? It's I'm going to watch it. I'm going to try it out. 2 episodes. That's my thing. I will watch anything now because I've been proven wrong so many times. And The Walking Dead opened my eyes to that because I did not like. I can't tell you last time I used to follow a television show because when we grew up, Nathan, there wasn't really. There was television series, but they weren't storyline driven.
Yeah. And every episode, they kind of purposely put them together in such a way that if you missed the last episode, you didn't need to watch watch the last one to catch up.
Exactly.
Each episode was its own story. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. I shouldn't say not storyline because they had stories to them, but it wasn't like The Walking Dead where, the zombie outbreak and here's this week and this is how they're surviving. You would have lost people in a heartbeat, I think, back in the mid-'80s and late 70s.
Yeah, because, also...
But then you had Dallas and Knots Landing and stuff like that.
Yeah, those were the starts of those series that had a story behind them, and, then it morphed into what we have today, where people... I forget what show it was where people started saying, X-Files even. You could watch an episode of X-Files and never have seen another episode before.
Absolutely.
And you could still watch it and enjoy it.
Absolutely. And people actually, it kind of, and it's awesome you bring that up because it kind of lost people. They did a study because the X-Files was amazing. It's been amazing on our show. We've had so many guests the X-Files on. But a lot of the people were saying that it lost them when they started just doing the alien conspiracy and the government. They lost people. Because when
you had to have watched the last episode to know where it was going now.
Right. And before it was El Chupacabra this week, Bigfoot next week, and then Mulder filmed the one episode where he was on Cops and it was a werewolf or something. I mean, it was just cool. Like you said, the Jersey Devil. Each week you tuned in, you're like, oh man, that was really cool because it had a start and it had a finish. So it had closure to each episode. You didn't have to watch next week. But yeah, I think we've seen that. We lived through that magical era, whatever they call that, when TV shows went from singular, I guess, daily, different storytelling.
One-shots.
Yeah, there you go, one-shots to full blown out series that last 6 years to 10.
Yeah,
so
like right now, if you had watched this season of Walking Dead without knowing the previous seasons. You'd sit there and watch everybody getting so upset at the death of Glenn and be like, what? I don't get it. Why is everybody so upset?
Yeah, who's this Nancy? Yeah. He should have got his head beat in. That's terrible. That's terrible. I got to ask.
I'm amazed he didn't come on our show before he died.
I know. I got to make sure I ask Jesus tonight, when he comes on. How soon is too soon to hit on Maggie? Because I got to tell you, man, if it was, apocalyptic times and zombies are out there and Negans and stuff like that and the hot chicks next to you that had just recently lost her husband and you were single.
I think Jesus has his eye more on Daryl.
The Jesus. Nobody messes with the Jesus. That's terrible. That's sacrilege. Here we go. Uh-oh. You hear that sound, everybody? It's time, once again, for Shadow Nation in the News, where it's always fresh, it's always exciting. It's strange, weird, and it's straight from the Shadow Nation vaults. And it starts right now. There you go. There you go. News time.
News time. That's right, folks. It's paranormal. You got me saying paranormal now.
You're just beating a dead horse.
It's time for G&D in the news.
There you go.
That's right, folks. That's weird news that Sean and I pull right out of the paper because we like the titles. We haven't read them yet, so we make a lot of mistakes. Every time we make a mistake, you take a drink. That's why they call it the G&D drinking game.
Yes.
Of course, I guess it should be the Shadow Nation drinking game now, Sean.
Yeah.
Of course, if you have not already played the game, I should warn you that if you're driving in your car while listening to us, please don't play the G&D drinking game. And, of course, if you are doing anything important this evening, please listen responsibly.
There you go. Are you taking us off first or what?
I'm taking us off first because I saw this story and I had to read it, Sean.
Take it away.
Because it's something you and I would do.
Okay.
This comes from the Huffington Post, and it says, Cards Against Humanity throw $100,000 into a giant hole over Thanksgiving weekend.
Sucks.
Cards Against Humanity offers its own Black Friday special. Send them money, and they'll dig a big hole.
Right.
The holidays are here, and everything in America is going really well, the company wrote, have a drink, on their Holiday Hole website. To celebrate Black Friday, Cards Against Humanity is digging a tremendous hole in the earth. The website featured live cams of the hole being dug as it trickled have a drink. As it tricked its listeners into donating as they came in. It doesn't say trick there, folks. I'm sorry. Have a drink. The company just raised over $100,000, which was enough to keep digging operations going until Sunday morning.
Okay.
And from the videos posted online, it looks like they dug themselves quite a hole. Several of the frequently asked questions on the website were, why are you not giving all this money to charity?
Right.
To which Cards Against Humanity replied, why aren't you giving the money to charity? It's your money. Is the hole bad for the environment? No, it's just a bunch of empty land. There is no. There's a hole. That's life. Mm-hmm. How am I supposed to feel about this? You're supposed to think it's funny. You might not get it for a while, but sometime next year you'll chuckle quietly to yourself when you remember all the business about the hole. Cards Against Humanity is known for going against the flow on Black Friday. Last year, they sold nothing at all for $5 a pop and earned $70,000.
A lot of holes out there.
The year before, they sold pop.
Okay.
And I guess that was balloons. They were popping balloons for... You could buy a balloon and have it popped for Black Friday.
All right.
Anyway, Sean, that's Cards Against Humanity. Have you ever played Cards Against Humanity, Sean?
I haven't. You brought that up a couple years ago when they first started coming out with that. I think it's 2 or 3 years ago.
Fun game. We play it every New Year's. I'm sure we'll play it this New Year's again. And several other versions of it coming out now. Cats Against Humanity, Crabs Against Humanity.
Ooh.
But
I always thought crabs were... crabs were always against...
Definitely, yeah. A fun game, and you have to have a politically incorrect sense of humor to play it, folks. But right. I enjoy it. So
no safe places, no nothing during this game.
No safe places, no nothing.
I don't know, Nathan. You can't ever run for any office in the world.
like my past would allow me to run for any office.
I know. Our ghost.
Hey, do you know our buddy Billy Buckby from our days on his network? He just became a state representative for the state of Connecticut.
I seen that. Congratulations to Billy Buckby. Absolutely.
There you go.
Our friends at the Huffington Post gave us another one, Nathan. Hey, do you like pizza?
I love pizza.
I do too. Domino's is training GPS-equipped reindeer to deliver pizza in Japan. This is a story sent to us by HuffPost. What if Santa brought pizza instead of toys? ? It'd make a lot of adults happy. Beer, pizza, and beer. Anyway, Domino's seems to be trying to find out, and at least in Japan, as a video released online shows the company training reindeer to deliver fresh hot pizzas in snowy Hokkaido. Drink up, guys. The reindeers are equipped with GPS units, so customers can track their pizzas. Oh, I like that. But the footage indicates the system still needs a little more work, as it appears they're dragging a reindeer across a bridge or something. I don't know. Domino's said in the news release, working with the reindeers poses unique challenges, but they are hoping to have the system up and running in early December. That means eventually this could become a true Christmas miracle. The company said they're expecting severe cold in northern Japan this winter due to La Nina. La Nina? Drink up anyway. Yeah. And that reindeer...
Little girl. That's what it means.
Okay. Little girl?
Little girl.
Okay. La Nina. And that reindeer could help ensure pizzas are delivered even during the snowfall. So all the best with that, guys. You know, I want to see a reindeer. It's real reindeer. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was like...
Well, you know, their real plan was to have it ready in time for Christmas, because then the reindeer could fly your pizzas to you.
Okay. I got you. That's really cool.
See?
Yeah. What else we got?
Well, I'm not going to go through the whole story here, Sean, but did you know that Fisher-Price is not really making there is no real Fisher-Price happy playset or happy hour playset?
I kind of figured that, but man, did it make for a cool Facebook image thing with the advertisement, the kids standing around drinking.
The happy hour playset from Huffington Post features a bar, stools, and fake bottles of beer that supposedly are being sold by Fisher-Price. Surely, barkeep not included. Make no mistake, the product is fake and only exists in a photo on Instagram.
Did you see
by Adam Pedelia.
What's up with the one little kid behind the bar, the bartender? He looks so evil. He's so mean. It's like a Chucky doll or something.
Nobody tipped him.
Yeah, I guess.
I actually got in trouble in Sunday school for back. You remember when there was a nursery in the downstairs of the Sunday schools they send the kids to?
Yeah.
Well, my father was a bartender, so I set up a fake bar in the nursery school at the church for the kids to come and hang out at.
Get your yoo-hoo.
And I got in trouble.
Oh, that's great. Get your yoo-hoo. I'll take a yoo-hoo on the rocks. Yeah, that was good. I do remember they always thought they should have boozing Barbie or barroom Barbie. You know? I mean, let's face it. There's a lot of barroom Barbies out there, folks, in the real world. Let's teach our children.
You want one that's going to get people a lot of reason to drink here, Sean?
Well, yeah, why not?
Okay, because this one comes from Austria, so I'm going to make a lot of mistakes.
There you go.
Terrifying Krampus celebration spreads Christmas fear.
Oh.
You better watch out. Krampus is coming to town. We love Krampus here.
We do.
Here we go, folks. Hollabrunns Market Square in Austria.
I broke my bell.
Its annual Hollabrunn held its annual Krampus run over the weekend, with dozens of performers dressed as the creature to celebrate, and featured as Santa's frightening counterpart.
All right.
According to the tradition, in some parts of Europe, Krampus beats naughty children with bundles of sticks.
Yes.
And carries them off in a basket on his back.
To hell.
That's not actually what most kids want for Christmas. Mm-hmm. As the clip above shows, you can go to Huffington Post and see the clips, folks.
Oh,
the
no.
Krampus in this event take their job very seriously, intimidating and sometimes even hitting bystanders.
Oh.
Another Krampus event was held in, here we go, folks, Zoldykovich in the Czech Republic over the weekend.
Where are you from? I live in Zoltar-Dikovich.
Why don't we have Krampus festivals here in America, Sean?
Because we don't have any cool towns like Zoltar-Dikovich. We need some cool town names. Dikovich. Where do you live?
You know, Pennsylvania was originally going to be called Transylvania.
It should have been. That would have been epic.
I think that would have been epic.
How do you know it'd be the haunted capital of the U.S. if it would have been? I guarantee you, there would have been at least 200 haunted bed and breakfasts.
There already are, but they're all in Gettysburg.
Right. And there's more every day, especially during Halloween.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anything on your end there, Sean?
Oh, so that was the end of your story. Well, that's good.
That was the end of the story. Yeah, it was a short story.
Smoking my Vape Nation here, and you left me hanging. No, that's it, guys. That's Shadow Nation in the news for this week.
In the news.
In the news.
And that means, Sean, it's time for our favorite show.
I think you're actually trying to move things along too fast. I don't like it. It's very...
Then I'll stop. I'll mute myself here. There we go. Now you can't hear me, so we're good.
I can still hear you.
No, you can't.
That's terrible. I can't hear you. It's time for our favorite show. What show's that, Nathan? I don't know.
I guess it's over.
Uh-oh. You hear the music, guys. Apparently Nathan's going to do this. We got to get coordinated sometime, but you hear the music, so you know that it means it's time for Rot Talk.
Rot Talk.
That's right. It's a G&D Shadow Nation original, where each week we talk about what we think is going to happen this week and what happened last week on that show we know and love, The Walking Dead. Nathan?
Yes, sir. And it pretty much all came out just like we said it would. It followed the comic book pretty much to a T, sir.
Yeah. A lot of people are getting upset by that.
Well, I guess I should give out the warning. We didn't give it last week. That's right, folks. Time for spoilers. So if you don't want to hear what happened last week or what we think will happen this week, stick your fingers in your ears and go la 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 for about 3 minutes till we're done.
That's a spoiler right there.
That's a spoiler right there. Last week, yes, Sean, everything followed the comic book pretty well. Right down to Negan offering our friend Carl a hands up after Carl slaughtered 2 of his men.
Yeah. Yeah. And, that was cool because everybody thought, oh, my God, he's going to do this. He's going to take him out.
Yeah.
But he only won over the affection, I think, of Negan because Negan's kind of a hard A.
I think Negan saw a little bit of himself in this young man.
I think he did too. But if you listened to last week's episode with King Ezekiel, we read a story about how close Negan is to just a regular guy. He was a used car salesman, had a wife and kid and everything. And I think you can tell at the end of the episode last week, he finds Judith. Little baby Judith. And if you piece that together, when he took that guy's wife, the burnt face guy.
Right.
He took his wife. You've seen her in like 3 episodes ago getting tested for pregnancy, and the doctor was saying, "Sorry, there's no baby this time." Well, you assume that it was Negan's
right.
Baby. And then you see him holding Judith, going, "You know what, Carl? Maybe I should just whack you and your dad out and start a life right here." You know,
in the suburbs.
Yeah, in the suburbs. Remember, the guy was walking across the house and he goes, "Howdy, neighbor. Come over later. We'll have a barbecue."
Well, the question you got to ask yourself now, Sean, is Negan going to move in? Is he going to take the baby? And will that finally bring Rick out of this funk he's in, where he's not fighting back? Or is Negan just going to use the baby as another tool to control Rick?
I don't know, because we don't have the comic books to back us up here anymore, because we kind of lost our way on that.
Yeah.
So we don't know what is really going to happen next, guys. But I will say this much. You brought up an interesting thing about, the young one, Carl. Huh?
Yes. This is on the rumor mill, folks. Carl has a real life outside of the the television series.
No.
I know, it's hard to believe. And he wants to go to school. Oh. He wants to go to college.
It's Harvard, isn't it, or something big like that?
That's right. And Chandler Riggs wants to go to school and continue his education. Good for him. I wouldn't walk away from The Walking Dead, of course. That's me. And I'm not a young man with his life ahead of him.
This is true.
So I'm an old man with my life behind me. But Chandler Riggs wants to go off to college, and that could mean the death of Carl.
Right.
Or could Carl just be kidnapped or have to run off and go somewhere? Of course, if he ran off and went somewhere, I think Rick would follow.
Right.
But, maybe they're thinking Walking Dead has 4 more years and Carl could go off to school and then come back or make another appearance during summer break and film. but maybe it could be the death of Carl. And could this be all leading up to the death of Carl?
I don't know.
It would be a break off from the comic books there. Of course, in the comic books, I do believe Carl lost his hand in that famous scene with Negan. So
I think so, yeah. But he can't just. They'll have to kill off Carl. If Carl's not going to be a part of it, you can't just slide another actor into Carl's place. It's been on too long.
Yeah,
you can't do that. I don't know.
It's not a soap opera. He can't come back with a facelift.
Carl, you fell off that cliff. Thank God that triple face transplant worked. Yeah, that's great. Anyway, Nathan, this week it's a big one. This is it. I think it's an hour and a half.
Tonight is the hour and a half, or is it 2 hours? I think it's an hour and a half. Yeah. Mid-season finale.
Yeah. Is it just me, or am I the only one?
Are they going to leave us on a big cliffhanger again?
Is it just me, or am I the only one noticing that the Walking Dead episodes have been running way over an hour?
Yeah, I must agree. I think they've pretty much given in to the producers of The Walking Dead, and when they say, we need an extra 10 minutes, they go, okay, you can have whatever you want.
Yeah, I think so, too. And I think this is all BS. They're talking about, the ratings are tanking and everything. Walking Dead is still the number one show in America.
Yeah.
It's still the number one show in America, and I think this is media hype. I think if the ratings did tank for a while, they didn't tank, first off. They dropped because people couldn't handle seeing the brutality of what happened.
And I think you would have lost some of the Glenn followers who, it's just, not to bring up politics because we're not a political show, but just like some people, after the election said, he's not my president. Well, when they killed Glenn, it's not their show. So
there you go.
You probably would have lost a few people who think that by tuning out, they're making a difference. But the honesty is the rest of America is still watching. The show is going to keep selling advertisements. And as long as a show can sell advertisement, it'll stay on the air.
Prediction for this week, someone will die. I know I've said it before, but we have to see somebody die. And I believe Nathan's earlier thing, which was, will he take Judith? The question you ask, I think, yes, Judith is not going to be left in the house with Rick because Negan craves a child.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the true cracking point for Rick. Rick always has these moments where he falls down deep, and then something extreme has to happen to bring him back out. Hence the death of his wife, the death of Herschel. He was on that whole peaceful move until the death of Herschel happened, and some kind of death or tragedy always sinks Rick down to his lowest point and then yanks him back out. And I think that's what we're going to be seeing coming in next season, due to the capture of the daughter. I have a sneaking suspicion that this is going to bring about an all-out war. Of course, they have no guns, but we've recently seen another secret group by the river that has a whole lot of guns. That maybe it's time that something happened, and all these groups come together.
I read something funny about tonight's guest, only his comic book character, and that Negan does something to him. And it's funny, we have Tom on tonight, that plays Jesus, of course, on The Walking Dead. So it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds. If you guys want to read up on it yourself, go anywhere on Google and just ask Google, what does Negan do to Jesus in the comic book series, and you'll get an answer. You have to read a little bit.
They will?
Yeah, they will. They will. Look it up yourself, Nathan. But tonight's guest...
I'm gonna.
I'm sure tonight's guest, just a wild card, he won't tell us anything.
Oh, no. I've got a feeling he's under that same kind of gag clause as all the other hundreds of Walking Dead people we've had on our show.
That's it, guys. Well, that's what we think, Nathan, right? That's what we think is going to happen this weekend, tonight. On the show we know and love, The Walking Dead.
You're still trying to figure out what's going on, aren't you?
Oh my God, man, I'm slipping, dude. I'm slipping. I actually I'm having one of those days where just the brain is slow. It's crawling. It's just crawling. I don't know what's wrong, man. I don't know. Maybe I need to go get tested. Anyway,
you might have the Lyme.
I might have the Lyme disease. Anyway, let's do tonight's guest. Want to?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Well, you hear that music, and it's way loud, so we're going to turn it down just a tad. Anyway, guys, tonight's guest, he's an English actor, best known for his role in the television drama Waterloo Road, now for his most recent role as Jesus on the AMC smash hit The Walking Dead, and of course much more. Tonight, Shadow Nation, Mr. Tom Payne, Jesus from The Walking Dead, will be right here, only at the home of the mystifying Oracle Radio, the Shadow Nation. Yeah, I'm excited about that, man. I'm excited. I don't know how many Walking Dead guests we've had on here, but it's been a heck of a lot.
It's not 100, but we've had quite a few.
It's quite a few. Anyway, guys, each week on this show, Nathan, what do you say we take a break?
Oh, okay.
We got to get Tom in here, right? Anyway, guys, each week on this show, as you know, we play an independent band. One we know, we love, we support the little man, right, Nate?
We do.
And I love this band so much. It's called Forget the Well. It's the name of the band. And we messed up their name of their band before, Nathan. I swapped the name of the band with the name of the song. So I'm going to play this again.
You know what I would like to say, Sean? I tried to find out if we had the permission to play the song from Portal, the Still Alive song that was written by the AI.
Tell us about that. Tell us about it.
If you have not gotten to listen to this song, please. I've posted it on my Facebook. I will post it on the Ghostman and Demon Hunter Facebook page. It is definitely worth listening to. They showed a artificial intelligent computer a picture of a Christmas tree and had it write a song about it. And it's creepy, and it explains to us why we do not want AI to take over the world, because we are looking at a Terminator kind of or Matrix kind of existence if we ever let AI take over.
Here's something for you. You know the paranormal, because you've been in it since birth like me, and you know about spirits and ghosts and all this stuff, but you also know about the world of AI and science, you know, reaching to the stars and beyond to find all these answers. Now, you know how when we go to a place, we use sometimes what they call ITC, which is using the radio for the dead to talk through.
Right.
And the dead will use the patterns of static or whatever. Some people believe the dead will use the static or the patterns, white noise, whatever, to form vocal patterns, words, things like that. So here's one more. Let's say with artificial intelligence, robots, all these things that we designed that we think is going to serve us, what if the dead possess these things, can and find out how to possess these things? Then all of a sudden, we don't just have ghosts. We have reanimated, man-made zombies. You like that? That's a book, brother. I know that's burning on your mind.
I think that sounds to me like a Sci-Fi Channel special.
Yeah. If we direct it, absolutely.
There you go.
Anyway, guys, tonight's band, Forget the Wells. That's a creepy thing to leave everybody on before the break, though. Yeah, look around. Where's your nearest robot in your room, guys? You might be watching. Yeah, the answer machine.
It's the vacuuming your floor. All of a sudden, it sucks up the cat.
Yeah, VCR's attack. Anyway, Forget the Wells. Name of the band. Name of the song. Suburban Outlaw. Shadow Nation. Demon Hunter.
Ghostman.
We'll be right back with Jesus from The Walking Dead.
Always felt a little different, yeah. It's like my face was on a poster. Yeah. I can't feel the ballroom leer. Oh no, but my reflection in the window. No. The only gaze is staring here. Oh, with eyes of twilight, eyes of fear.
Hey, this is Tom Payne, King Ezekiel from The Walking Dead. You're listening to Sean and Nate on Shadow Nation. Enjoy yourselves.
Hey, welcome back, Shadow Nation, to the one, the only mystifying Oracle of Radio. Tonight's guest, he's an English actor best known for his role in the television drama Waterloo Road, now for his most recent role as Jesus on the AMC smash hit The Walking Dead, and of course, much, much more we're going to get into. So, Shadow Nation, if you will, help us welcome Mr. Tom Payne to the studio. Tom, what's up, brother?
Hey, guys. Happy to be here.
Thanks, man.
Tom, I got to tell you, Tom, I was telling everybody today I was going to be talking to Jesus tonight, and they were all excited, and they said, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm not sure yet. I just got to make sure I don't cross the guy.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. The Jesus, I always say. That's from
I haven't heard that one before. That's good.
Yeah. I always think of The Big Lebowski when they say the Jesus when I see it. The Jesus. Nobody messes with it. Do you get that on the street?
I have, and I've also been given pictures of my head edited onto John Turturro's body.
That's awesome. In the jumpsuit at the ball.
Doing the whole shining his ball thing. There's a GIF, actually, on the internet somewhere of that.
We got to find that one before you go on. I'm going to change your whole picture, your promotional photo to that. Anyway, hey, Tom, we're a little bit different on our show because we love our guests that come on. And you're such an amazing actor. And you're just really crashing on the screen in the United States. But you've been doing this for so long. Can you walk us back how you got your start in the acting biz?
Yeah, I mean, there's a phrase about the acting business is it's a marathon, not a sprint. And it's really true. And I was kind of fortunate. I left drama school in 2005. I got an agent out, and then I did some theatre, and then I got on a TV show in England, and did, for a while. I lived in London for like 8 years, and I did a bunch of TV, and then I did a movie called Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day with Frances McDormand and Amy Adams.
Oh, yeah.
And I used that movie. I came out to America for the first time 2008, and work was okay in England, but I just felt like I could, maybe do something in America. So I came up with that and got my representation. And then I started to come out for what's called pilot season, which happens in the early part of the year, where all these pilots are made, and hopefully one of them gets made into a series. Mm-hmm. And on 2010, I got this show called Luck, which was on HBO for a season. And that was great. That was Dustin Hoffman and Michael Mann,
Nick
lots
Nolte.
of very cool people, and lots of David Milch, and lots of cool people. And then I carried on living in California because it's amazing. The weather is amazing, and it's a bit cheaper than London.
Yeah.
And I worked on and off. I went back to England and did some things, and I did a movie called The Physician, which did really well in Germany, actually, and Italy. No, not Italy, Spain, because it was based on a very popular book. And that's on Netflix in America now, actually, and it's doing pretty well on Netflix, which is good.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of riding high from that and being careful about what I chose next, and yet again going to the bottom of my bank balance. And then
I know that feeling.
It's every time, but you have to, trust that the right job is going to be there, and right before you're about to fall flat on your face, it comes along, and that's what happened with The Walking Dead, and it happened really quickly. At the time, I was actually in London at my parents' house, and I was on my own, and I did my audition with my MacBook, FaceTiming with my girlfriend on my iPhone. And I've spent so much money on making really professional tapes in the past, and then that's the one that booked me the biggest gig I've ever had. So I think they have a really good idea of what it is that they want, like the quality that they want for the actors that come on the show. Yeah. I have to say, I think the casting is one of the strongest aspects of the show. And because the scene that they give you is a different character name, absolutely nothing to do with the show. It's specially written. I was talking to Alana Masterson about hers, and she said it was there was a line in her audition that Scott Gimple, it was like, if whoever says that line, whatever he considered to be the right way, and Alana did, so they have an idea of the kind of thing that they want, and then whoever walks in and delivers it. And it was kind of nice that I was in England, because I didn't get any kind of sense of how many people were going in for it or how big the role was. Yeah. I just did it on my own in my little hometown, and then a few days later I was in Atlanta.
I got to ask you, Tom, why is it that whenever an American tries to fake a British accent, we all sound like morons, but when the Brits try and actually fake an American accent, we don't know the difference? Is it we're just well? I know we're a young country, but
there are some Americans who do it really well. I mean, you guys used to speak like us, way back. But we hear it all the time. We have a lot of American television. And then in the past, it's changed a bit now, but in the past, a lot of the British television that you guys would get was all kind of Downton Abbey, and everyone speaks quite posh, and that's the idea of a British accent. And I think people get caught up with the idea of doing a British accent, and that's what you do.
My British
Mary Poppins.
Yeah, what my British friends call the BBC accent.
Right. Yes, exactly, the BBC accent. Yes, which is actually a thing. But yeah, so you fall into either you're doing Cockney in London or you're doing very posh. But it's also from a very technical point of view. So I did go to drama school and study accents and study all this kind of stuff. From a technical point of view, an American's musculature of an American's mouth is different to the musculature of a British person's mouth. So like when we learn to do American, there are things that we have to emphasize a bit more. Like we have to use different parts of our mouths, and it's the same with Americans. But Americans, if you'll permit me, have lazier mouths.
What? Hey, this is how wars were started, Tom.
and I'll tell you, Tom, I I have had several girlfriends that I can use as examples that that's just wrong.
Oh, you got lazy lips.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That was a.
So you just have to. I know because I over articulate because that's just the way that I am. So I have to like. I have to be a bit lazier with the way that I speak, which is kind of funny. But there are some British people who can't do it. You know, some actors.
Yeah.
I met an actor in LA who's been out here for 5 years, and he's like, I can't do an American accent. Like, I'm sure you could if you really tried.
Yeah, but see,
it's the same with like Americans. You can do it. You just have to work at it. It's a job. It's a skill that you can learn.
Yeah, but see,
I actually am fighting myself right now because I had a horrible speech impediment when I was younger, and they taught me to get over it by teaching me the BBC accent. And so now, whenever I'm around someone who speaks English, speaks proper English, I kick into it, and I am really working really hard right now not to do that.
Oh, that's great, but you must be pretty good at it then.
Yeah,
I try. Yes and no. It all depends on how. Because not only did I have a bad speech impediment, but my family was a cross of Appalachian Dutch and Pennsylvania Deutsch, so I had a really bad accent as a child. So
yeah, the Dutch is a tough language. And it's a very particular type of accent as well.
Well, that's not fair, Tom, because when you came to the States, you went straight to L.A., and then you shot over to Atlanta to film The Walking Dead. So you're not learning American. Right. You're actually learning the Deep South language. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's true. I went when I did that Luck television show, I played a Cajun. So I went to Louisiana and then went down to like Opelousas and those places and met Cajuns. And that's not really American, you know, like they speak like half French, like American patois kind of thing. And so America is just, and you really get a sense of what America is, this patchwork quilt of people from all different places around the world coming together. It's really interesting. You can find such great pockets of culture all around America.
Cajun should still be its own language. I'm telling you, we went and filmed. Yeah. We had a TV show, and we went out there on Manchac Swamp looking for a ghost or whatever in this cemetery out there. And they gave us, remember this, Nathan? They gave us a Cajun guide that took us on the boat, and there was alligators. And I asked him.
And by the end of the night, I'm sitting there going, I got to go over here, and we got to do it. Oh, well.
There was like a 12-foot alligator chasing our boat, and he's like, oh, that's just baby now. Blah, 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 blah. And I didn't understand a word. I thought he was going to die. Yeah. But, Tom, with not only are you an amazing actor, but you're also a director. A lot of people don't know this, man, but you had said, I was looking it up, you did an indie film, and you said it was during a great change in your life that you decided you were going to do this. What was that change in your life? And talk about Winter in London.
Okay, so I didn't direct that, but
you created it.
I had just come out of a 10-year relationship, and so it was someone who was dating from drama school, and we had come out to America together, and it was kind of stuff, and I just realized, I was approaching 30, and it just wasn't right, so we broke up, and that was just it was tough. Like, you grow up together with someone, and and then you realize it's just not going to work out, and you need to move on from that. So then I came back. So I was in LA, and I got that movie, and I went and spent January in London. And that movie is pretty tough. I play the son of Tommy Flanagan's character, and my mother, his wife, was murdered, and he's fallen into alcoholism and schizophrenia and depression, and I'm the one that's kind of holding it all together. So it was just a really small. When you do those indie movies, it's generally like a really small crew, and everyone's there for the love of it, and to do something that they really believe in. And that was 4 years ago. So that movie has taken a long time to come out, and it's been a real team effort. And I'm so happy for the team. I saw Tommy actually a few weeks ago in Atlanta. It was really nice to see him again. He's a really good guy. And it was just a big moment of change. And I was on my own for the first time in a long time. And I was just coping with that, really. Because it was the first time I'd ever really properly broken up with anyone properly as well. And you go through all that stuff. And I went through all that stuff for the first time at 29. So yeah, it was a bit of a cathartic experience, but it was great. And I'll always look back on that film with fondness.
Well, I'm sorry for opening up that wound, brother.
You must have really felt like you were behind here in the States, because here we do most of our big breakups when we're still teenagers. It's
right.
It's
then again, there's lots of people who stay with their childhood sweethearts as well, and get married and have kids and carry on with that.
Save the divorce for 30 years later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. When they finally go, oh wow, okay. Well, it's tough, man. Like in this job as well, you're traveling all the time, and we meet, like, as actors or people in the entertainment industry, like, you meet thousands of people every year as well.
Yeah.
So you live, like, all these different lifestyles, and you go to all these different places, and I'm part of one family now with The Walking Dead, and I've been part of other families on different movies and TV shows, and it's a strange nomadic existence, and one that takes a bit of getting used to. So then it helps to have that kind of anchor who holds you, who's like, oh, that's your familiar place. But then when you realize it's not necessarily a healthy thing to have as well, and you just need to learn to deal with stuff on your own, and not lean on someone too much.
I always wondered, Tom, how, I know you're not single now, but when you were single and you're part of the cast in these big television shows, because I know it's going to be the same in England, women are throwing themselves at you. Yeah. When we had that little TV show, we would go to conferences and girls wouldn't even know who we were. They'd just be like, oh my God, he was on TV. How do you even begin?
Yeah. That's what you got, Sean. I got death threats.
Yeah. But how do you even begin the process of looking for a chick to go out with when you're famous? You know what I mean?
Well, and that's another thing I'm kind of fortunate about. So the wonderful woman I'm seeing now has been around the business and knows how it works. And we met before. We actually met when I was poor. And,
there you go.
Not near the position that I'm in now.
Yeah.
But that's when you really know. I would think it's incredibly difficult to really find someone to date, and I think that's why celebrities or famous people end up dating each other, because there's you don't have to have certain conversations about stuff. But then a testament to that is how also those relationships also don't seem to last as long either.
Right.
It's a very strange thing. The fame thing is weird. I went when we first went to Jennifer, my girlfriend, and I went to the premiere last year in New York, and we were watching everyone come out on stage, and it's Madison Square Garden, and everyone's going insane. And I really was scared by the whole thing, and a bit kind of, wow, what have I gotten myself into? It's like that when you get everything in the world that you thought you wanted, and then you go, well, actually, is this what I want? Yeah. But at that point, I'd already filmed my episodes, and I was in it, so I was like, okay, I'll get used to it, I guess. And I have. I've been building up to this my whole career. You always hope that you'll be on TV and something will get recognized, and I'm super happy that it's happened now. So I'm 33, I'm about to be 34, and if it happened in my 20s, I think things might have been a bit different. And I really feel for people, actually, who get famous in their 20s. I think, like, that the One Direction kids, and, fair play to them, but I think that's really tough. And, like, you see, like, Justin Bieber or Miley Cyrus, and they grow up in front of you, and it's tough, because everyone goes through growing pains, and everyone does stuff.
One day you're just looking at them, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, they're not cute anymore.
Oh, well, that happens too. And how tough is that for those people?
I know.
And like the next young sensation comes along, and because those people really, because a lot of the younger ones, it's not them that's in control of everything. Yeah. So they've got a lot of people around them who are pushing them forward. And whereas someone like me I've been doing it on my own. I have like a team of people, but like I make my own decisions. And I started on this road when I was 21.
Right.
So I was already out of, certain growing pains, and that definitely went to others. But I wasn't famous when I was going through them. I was, some people knew me, but not that many. But The Walking Dead is a whole other thing as well. It's not just, oh, someone might recognize me from a TV show. It's, wow, this TV show is enormous. And also, I have this big beard and long hair, so I'm super recognizable, even if I put on like a cap and glasses,
Jesus.
Which other members of the cast do. Like, I'm still really recognizable, you know. So, but I'm ready for it now.
I just have to say, Tom, I just have to say, don't do the man bun. Don't do it. It's
You might.
Oh no! But you know why that happens, and I have been doing that because it's bloody annoying.
I used to have long hair. I know.
Eating your hair. You're eating your hair the whole time, or it's blowing in your face. It's so annoying. Right. So I have done that. But also, everyone keeps asking me to because he does that in the comic books.
Yeah.
Well,
and it's
a little bit
okay.
further down the line.
Let Jesus have the man bun. And if you're in a convertible, okay. But no, I used to have long hair down my back. And I remember I used to have to tie it back in like the 1980s ponytail because I had a car with T-tops.
Right, and you had to do. That's what my dad is petrified of. He's like, please don't get a ponytail. Yeah. First of all, he's like looking at me and like watching my hair grow, and every time he's like, just don't get a ponytail. Because he has that whole like 80s idea of guys with long hair.
Right. That's something.
It's not ponytails anymore. It's man buns.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's something that doesn't change from American fathers and English fathers. Apparently, is don't get a ponytail or no hair piercing.
Greg Nicotero told me the same thing. Like his dad told him when he was, he's had long hair for years, and his dad was like, "You'll never get a job with, having a ponytail." And I mean, look at Greg Nicotero. But it's kind of funny. He was like, "Yeah, my dad, he really drilled into me. You'll never get work if you have a ponytail." I mean, it's the same thing with like tattoos, and now everyone's got tattoos, but it used to be that don't get any tattoos because you won't get a job.
Yeah,
I mean,
Sean and I can't tell people not to get tattoos.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you have a ton?
I'm all sleeved up. Every time I go to the grocery store, I still meet an older lady that gives me that, "Oh my God, is he a killer?" You know what I mean?
Really?
I still do, Tom.
Oh, is he a killer?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then do you look like a killer?
No, I got a beard.
No, he looks like Abe Lincoln.
Yeah, I got a beard like Abraham Lincoln. No, but growing up, Tom, in Bath, you're from Bath, Somerset, right? Or was it Bath and Somerset?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so growing up there as a young Tom Payne, what was it that drove you? Like a lot of American actors we have coming on, Nathan and I had Saturday morning cartoons, we had the weekend specials,
right.
all these sitcoms after school. What was it, out there in Bath that said, was it a young age you said, I'm going to be on TV?
I just really enjoyed showing off.
Yeah.
When I was a kid. Mm-hmm. I was just a big loudmouth show off. And I don't believe anyone who says, when I was 5, I mean, it's rubbish. You have no concept of what it is to be an actor or doing that kind of stuff. You just want to show off.
Yeah.
You just want to stand up on stage and have everyone clap at you. So I was a pretty loudmouth kid, and when I was young, I was in the choir and stuff, and I did, the nativity play at school and stuff. But it was when I was 7, and when I went to like junior school, like the big boys school, one of the teachers dragged me into a classroom and thought I'd be good for the play. So he put me in the school play, and I did that ever since. And it became my thing, and I was, the actor in all of the plays. And basically, in my youthful naivety, I was like, well, I want to do a job that I enjoy, and I really enjoy this, so that's going to be my job. Basically, that's as simple as that. And so then I looked at it like, okay, so what do I do after school? Well, then I go to drama school and study. So I did that for 3 years, and and then I get an agent, and then I'm an actor. And it's pretty ABC, to be honest. And I mean, it's definitely had like a certain amount of luck, but also a huge amount of drive. Like I've always been very driven, and known that's what I was going to do. I was never wishy-washy about it, and I always knew that I'm going to be an actor and I'm going to be successful, and it's gonna happen. And I think that the power of thought like that. I never really thought about it like that, but that definitely carried me through and helped me out. There was never any other option. I remember when I was in my last years of school, my dad had to sign a note to allow me to take. At that time, you did 3 main subjects at the end of school, and I didn't want to. I was doing English, drama, and business studies, which was the sensible option. And I wanted to drop business studies because I was like, this is really boring, and I'm not, I don't care. But if I dropped that, then I couldn't go to university, and I probably couldn't get, any more qualifications. But I said to my dad, well, I don't want to go to university. I want to go to drama school where you don't need any qualifications to get in. But I'll stay at school and I want to do English and drama, and I love that. And so he had to sign a letter to the school saying, I give my permission for Tom to not do business studies. And I got a lecture from my teacher, and they were like, and they really were lecturing me and like, you can't go to university. And I was a pretty lippy kid as well. And I was like, I don't care. I'm not going to university. Sign the letter. Like to my teacher, I was like, just sign the thing. It's not your decision. My parents are behind me. This is what I believe.
See, that's
and they did it. And so I only did 2 subjects. And yeah.
That's one of the differences between American and British schools as well. Because right now we have a bunch of British American listeners going, wow, that's just like Harry Potter and its OWLs. It's
yeah.
Right, exactly.
But hey, Tom, I was going to ask you, when you're out there on the set of The Walking Dead, like let's say when Negan smashed heads in, right? Were you, I know like when we were filming, we would get a call and say, hey, you're not in that shot. You don't have to be here today, whatever, or you can go somewhere else. When you're filming The Walking Dead, you weren't in that scene. So do you get to see that stuff happen? Can you be present for that, or do they keep it as secret as everything, as the audition, everything?
Well, so last year, I was only really a guest star. I did like 2 and a bit episodes.
Right.
So by the time they shot that, I've been back in LA for a long time. And actually, Cudlitz told me halfway. He probably wasn't allowed to, but he intimated, because I was asking him, because I knew I was coming back, and I was like, "Oh, where do you live in Atlanta?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm," and then he kind of told me, but you know what? I didn't believe him, because the misinformation and the way that the show works, and that was such a big secret. I was like, he can't have, like everyone's telling everyone that it's them or something. So I honestly, when did I know? I mean, I knew when we came back for filming, obviously, but for certain I knew who it was. I don't remember when I knew if it was Steven or not, but yeah, I only really knew. And all of this season, in all of the scripts, it didn't even say their names.
All right.
It said Victim 1, Victim 2. Yeah. And I didn't get sent the first script for the season, which I thought was kind of funny. I was like, well, what's the point? Because I'm going to find out when I get back to Atlanta. But the show is so secretive, even with us, So, it was wild and crazy and kind of a blessing as well, because obviously when I've been meeting fans, that's the first thing anyone ever asks you, and they keep asking you until you go crazy. So it was great for me, because I could say, well, first of all, Jesus wasn't there, so Jesus doesn't know. And I really didn't know, and it really helped me.
Jesus knows all.
But then, of course, we came back for the show and we started filming, so I did know, so then that didn't help.
Jesus
and now I'm
knows all.
Well, people like to think that. And now I'm obviously in this season, and I know a lot more, like, kind of stuff that other people don't know. And it's a pressure, man. It's a big pressure.
Well, I remember when we had Scott Wilson, Herschel, on, and we had him. Yeah, we had him on right when it was all about to come to an end, and he was sitting there talking to us about the what was going to happen, and he was like, "Yeah, I was sitting there reading the script and went, oh no, but what a great death scene!"
Yeah. I've been telling everyone like that. If people ask me how I want to go, I'm like, it's like that. Yeah, I want like a big, dramatic, heartfelt, and I really like. I love how Herschel continues to resonate throughout the show. With Lauren and Stephen's characters, Maggie, and and it's just so nice that he carries on.
Quick question about Jesus: when developing your character, did you decide where he got his ninja training? Because I'm watching the show last week, and he's on the truck. He's not on the
Spider-Man.
truck.
Yeah. Well, I think at some point, we might get into that. I'd love a whole a bottle episode like Morgan had.
Oh yeah,
that was really cool. Where you saw how all that happened. I thought it was such a great episode as well.
One of my all-time favorites. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. Lenny is just wonderful. And I love. I honestly think his character arc is kind of amazing. Like from the very first episode, and where his character has been and come to now is really great. As an actor, he's been given a lot of great stuff to work with, which must be such fun for him.
Yeah, well, he was amazing in every way, and he starred next to Jesus. I can't believe it. See, Jesus. I can't say Jesus now. I got Jesus. No, we had interviewed his co-star in that one episode. He was amazing. He also played an American Horror Story in Freak Show where he had the clown mask on. He was amazing, man, and that's kind of what you do. You can take 1 or 2 episodes and make it your own because your character. You come on with your big bright eyes and your hair and your toboggan. Of course, all the women. You already got all the chicks, man. I've heard about it before. Everybody's going, you're stealing Daryl's chicks. Yeah, it's happening. It's happening.
It's funny.
Those are contacts, right? The blue eyes are contacts.
They got to be.
No, they're all mine.
Oh, got a sweetheart over here, Nathan. Oh, my God.
Oh, man. I'm just jealous.
Hey. Tom, I know we're running short on time, brother. I just wanted to say there are huge rumors out there, and I don't know if they're rumors or not. It says it's confirmed by a bunch of websites. Walking Dead, the movie. Next stop, planet Earth, baby. It's going to happen. What do you think?
Really? I hadn't heard that. But I can see them doing that. I mean, I think that would be kind of an awesome way to wrap it up. And I can see them doing that, actually. I can see them doing that. They're doing Downton Abbey, the movie. Yeah. So if they're doing Downton Abbey, the movie, then I think The Walking Dead can have a movie.
Well, The Sopranos was supposed to have a movie, too, and that never happened. But you know how you just said...
Well, that's because Tony died.
Jesus, how you just said, Jesus, Tom, you know how you just answered that with, well, really? Now, we're going to blog about that. It's going to be all over the website. Did you hear how Tom responded to that question? Yeah. The internet.
I know. I got asked the gay question the other day.
Oh, no.
And I answered it by saying, well, in the comic books, he's gay, and I see no reason why he wouldn't be in the show. So many people the next day ran with, Tom Payne confirms that Jesus is gay. I'm like, no, I didn't. But, people, we're in this, different news cycle now where people just write what they want to write, and then it catches fire. And to do with The Walking Dead, anything you write will get hits on your website. It makes me laugh. Every Monday, one website will write, that was the worst episode ever, and another one will write, that was the best episode ever, about the same episode.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, anything you write about the show gets hits, so that's why people do it. But that's another really interesting thing to be involved in, actually.
So we have to... we have to ask then, you say Jesus might be gay, because he was gay in the comic book.
I didn't say that, but yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm putting words in your mouth. That's what media is all about.
I know.
So Ross Marquardt, a good friend of the show. I think he's single now on the show. So are we looking? Are we looking at something?
No, Eric. He's not single.
Oh, that's right. He's not. His. That's right. We just saw him in a couple episodes ago. Oh well, sorry, Jesus.
So you're trying to get Tom to give spoilers. He's not going to do it. He's been trained in the arts of ninja.
I'm so used to all that stuff now. But what's funny about that whole thing is this whole shipping thing is everyone's like, I could see Jesus with Maggie. I could see Jesus with Sasha. I could see Jesus with Daryl. I could see Jesus. I mean, it's it just goes on and on. You're people are just desperate for some kind of. You already got Rishon, right?
Yeah.
So, just be happy with that for now.
No, honestly, in the show, though, let's say Jesus is not a gay character. Now you have extremely hot Maggie. She just lost Glenn. When is it not too soon to make your move?
That's the typical bro code you got to think about there.
What's that?
If you're Gregory, it's the next day, I think.
That's it, yeah. Well, they say that sympathy thing, or what is it? What is that thing where the women, if they lose their spouse, and the men swoop in? There was a whole movie about it.
Well, they say the funeral is the
aphrodisiac
to hook up.
and next, of course,
men with less morals, I think.
Jesus can't hook up with Maggie, though, because he's too busy planning the coup to knock Gregory out of the position. So
he cannot respond to any of that.
Yeah. Well, that's time to get together, I think.
Yeah. Well, listen, Tom, brother, I know we kept you over for a second. I'm going to ask you to hold on for a second while we close the show. Nathan, do you have anything else for Tom?
I have 100 questions for Tom, but we only have 1 minute left, and I want to talk to him after the show. So
I do too.
I'll come back.
Tom, we heard it. We're going to keep this on track now. You know we keep archives. But Tom Payne.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. But you're amazing, Tom. And everything you've done so far has been spectacular. And what you add to the cast of The Walking Dead is amazing. No, thank you, sir, for bringing joy to my family every Sunday night, because even the kids sit around the TV and we watch it together. It's the only thing we do as a family, believe it or not, watch The Walking Dead.
That's really sad, man.
I know.
Really
I don't. No, it's a good
You
thing.
don't eat together?
No,
You
no.
eat in separate rooms?
We eat, this is America. We usually eat
They
in the car.
eat watching The Walking Dead. They,
No, we do things, but I'm saying we come together around the TV, and it's something you can get into, because it's not just a slasher flick or something. It's a family type thing, kind of, sort of, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Tom, stay on the line 1 second. Nathan, what do you say we pay the bills?
and yeah, why not? I would rather stay and talk to Tom, but he's got places to be, and so do we.
Uh-oh, guys, you hear the music. Unfortunately, it's time to close the show yet again. So, no. Yeah. Special thanks to all our homes, all our sponsors, Stitcher, Smart Radio, Spreaker, the world's listening. How about you? Spreaker.com. Check them out. Planet Paranormal, Geeky Antics Network, Series Geek, Silly Fun, GeekyAntics.net, and Attentive Home Healthcare, AttentiveHHC.com, and the SWL Project. Give, share. Everybody needs Nathan.
A little love.
The SWLproject.org. Can you believe it? Tom Payne tonight, man. Walking Dead.
Tom Payne.
Tom Payne. From the haunted back roads of America, this has been another exclusive Shadow Nation interview. Don't go changing America. You know we won't. Demon Hunter.
Because we love you.
Night, guys.